Good morning, welcome to day 86 of your daily wellness. So today we're going to do another meditation, and we're going to use a candle. So you can use a candle of your own if you've got one, you can light your candle, but otherwise in a minute I'm going to move the camera so that you can actually look at the candle that I've got ready for you and watch that if you can't be bothered to light your own. So either go and get your candle now or just settle in and we'll get ready to start our meditation. So like always, bring yourself into a comfortable position. This can be seated however you want to, preferably seated so you can see the screen easy without sort of craning your neck or anything like that. So we're going to keep our eyes open today. It's the first one we've done with the eyes open. Trying to sit so that you've got a relatively straight spine. So if you're sitting on a sofa or something, use some cushions. And the reason we do this is so that we've got this easy flow of air in and out, because when we sit hunched, we don't breathe properly, don't get the right rhythm. It's difficult to get properly sleepy. So try and find a position where you can sit up nice and tall, use the cushions behind you. Have a fidget if you want to have a fidget. Get nice and cozy. Do what you want to do to get comfy. If you're into nice aromatherapy and stuff, you can use that now. If you're using your own candle, light your candle and place it somewhere in front of you where you can look at it with a nice sort of neutral neck. So we're not looking right down or right up too much. Try and place it in front of you. It doesn't have to be super close, but close enough that you can really sort of pay attention to the candle. And then start to connect with your breath. Notice initially how deep your natural breath is, this kind of breathing into the chest, and then start to expand that down into the belly. So as we breathe, we inhale and expand, exhale, contract, start to connect with that, and to play with the lengthening of your breath, the lengthening of each inhale and exhale. Listen to the sound of your breath. And then imagine that sound kind of floating away into the background. So it's there, but it's not your main focus. As you take a moment to notice if there's anything you can smell or taste, notice it. And then kind of let it go, let it fade into the background. Taking a moment to notice physically how you feel, the position that you're sat in, the weight, the textures against your skin, if you're warm or cool. Notice it. And then let that fade into the background. So we're creating this tapestry with your senses, but we're kind of making it a background. Take a moment looking around your room. So much to see wherever we are, even if we're in a relatively what's the word? I don't know, that word that means not much stuff. Even if you have that sort of style and you don't have much decorative items or things around, there's always textures, colours, shapes, spatial awareness that you can take in. But take a moment to kind of notice an object and then let it go and move to something else and let it go, and let all this sort of visual, these visual aids kind of like just come into the background. Okay, and now we come to the candle. So I'm going to bring my candle onto the camera. Okay, so taking a moment to look at the candle, noticing first the obvious things, the colour of the candle that you've chosen, and the size of the candle that you've chosen. Maybe it's a small tea light or a tall dinner plate candle, or here like a small pillar candle. Notice if it's new and we have that white fresh wick as we burn down, or if it's one that's been burnt a few times. Notice how the top portion of the candle kind of glows as the light comes down into the wax. and reflects through those top layers of wax. Notice the dark smudges, maybe not so many of those if it's new. Take a moment to notice the wick, where the wick comes out of the base of the candle. It's still white. Notice the area where it changes from white to black as it burns, and then moving up a kind of a lighter colour, and then from there to that glowing tip. Take a moment to notice the flame itself. Is the flame steady, or is it flickering in a gentle breeze? Is it large or small? Notice the brightness of the flame. And again here, follow it up from the wick, noticing how it almost disappears around the wick. As you move up, notice the pattern where it gets a little bit more sort of orangey. Notice the colours change. The shape of the lighting as it comes up to the brightest part. And then almost the tip where it almost fades again a little bit. Take a moment to gaze into the flame, to watch the sometimes very gentle, sometimes more powerful movements happening within the flame. Notice the brightness, that pure energy, staring into the flame of your candle or mine. And just taking a moment to notice if you can see the shapes and the patterns. Notice if your eyes start to play a few tricks on you. Sometimes you can almost see a halo around the candle, almost like we can see the energy and the light that's coming off from the flame. Can you see any smoke? Are the edges of the flame blurring? Is the light making all sorts of patterns and colours emerge around the flame itself? Keep watching. Allow yourself to surrender into it. Every time your mind starts to wander, come back to that flame. Is it moving? Is it dancing? Is it getting brighter and duller, larger or smaller? Feel yourself almost lost within it for a few more beats. And then closing your eyes. Can you still see the candle in your mind's eye? Can you see the light, the energy, the movement? Can you see lots of random patterns on the back of your eyelids now? And then let that visual go, let that sink back into your awareness and come back to your breathing. Connecting with the depth of your breath and the sound of your breath. Notice any smells or taste. Once again, remind yourself what was there at the beginning. Is it there now? Notice how your body feels, how it felt at the beginning. Does it feel the same now? Or did we forget? Gently bat your eyelids open. Soft gaze to begin with. then allow your vision to reacclimatize. And don't worry if at this point we can still almost see bits of the candle. This is fine. Sometimes it takes a little while for your eyes to adjust, depending on how close you are staring at the light. Take a moment to again take in your surroundings. Notice the different colours and textures. Take a little fidget through your body. Maybe have some shoulder rolls, or maybe we draw some circles with the nose. So you can do this meditation anytime you like, and you can stay with the candle for as long as you like. It doesn't even really have to be a candle. It could be, if you've got a salt lamp, maybe you want to look into the salt lamp. Obviously it doesn't move in the same way, which is why a fire is good. If you're having a bonfire, it's particularly good to do this one because there's all the different bits of flames and the different ways that it burns and the movement in the fire. It's a really good meditation to do. Or if you have an open fire or a burner at home. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow for your next dose of Daily Wellness.